King, it's 2025, January 2nd, and you know what that means. We are approaching Wrestle Kingdom 19 in Tokyo Dome. Let's
Yes.
fucking go.
Yes.
Enough said. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year to all of you. Our ATW, but this is a special, simple preview that I am doing. Again, everyone's had a great Happy New Year so far, and despite what you're going through difficulties, casualties, as we're already seeing in America, God help this country, or you're stressing out over anything that might be challenging now or to come, I hope that this brings some fun and some peace to you. We are ATW, as I said before, a family founded on loving all things wrestling. Shout out to the entire fam, including Eric, Lex, Casey, Megan Chibba, Sienna Janelle, Josh, Jose, Savage Mike, JD Ultra. You know who you are, okay? I could go to Lex Company here all night. But I decided to do a simple preview of my not only my only brother Day Zero, but he is also my NJPW Lion Heartfelt Spirit in this venture that is Japanese pro wrestling. I'll too sweet you on that because that's still very much a thing. The KING King, as we are here to preview Wrestle Kingdom 19 only. But we will be back here some point on Saturday once we get our mentalities in order. Before Wrestle Dynasty to give our takeaways and our prediction to that because the matches here are going to directly affect January 5th. So again, folks, buckle up for an insane weekend as professional wrestling officially begins for New Japan and others. Although Noah Marigold and AEW have been up to a great start. All right, King, there's you guys, your vibes. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you,
My,
bro. How you feeling about this weekend coming up? It's our annual tradition.
the annual tradition of wrestling madness. We just had AEW cap it off. Well, start it off with Dynamite's very solid overall presentation from y'all AEW, especially on Max. Get that fixed, Tony. Then I'll switch over to Max because apparently people have been complaining about commercials on Max and not picture in picture what you get on cable or Sling. Get that fixed, but overall solid presentation. And of course, Ring of Honor just got off the air not too long ago. Very solid, very chilled vibe. Ring of Honor tonight it was. And then of course, the biggest week I felt like of all wrestling, the first week always starts it off in Japan, and of course, it's going to start it off with, for me personally, New Japan Pro Wrestling with Wrestle Kingdom weekend. We're starting with Wrestle Kingdom 19. Let's go.
Amen, brother. Of course, I'm crazy. I always start with course and knowing there's already been some insane shit that went down there. Again, you all go watch the watch long in the archives. Crazy Simple Level Studios. Of course, the rest studios will be covering Wrestle Kingdom 19 and Wrestle Dynasty. And check out our coverage of Miracle First Dream as well, headlined by Ryami Atashita versus Saray for the Miracle World Championship and so much more. 5 championship matches. Great show. Of course, this will be uploaded after I already called it. But anyway, that's beyond the point. But yeah, King, it's insane to think about what's happened just in the first 7 days. And here we are. People are seeing this on day 3. We're recording this on day 2, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 2nd, after a very fair episode of Ring of Honor. Legit argument by legit Layla Hirsch, STP with a hell of a mission statement and New Year's resolution for Shane Taylor Promotions, Rumble, Batman Rumble. And of course, so much more as I'm still confused on what the hell is going to happen with this idea of Minion Overlord and Minion Forever. And so much more. Because again, Ring of Honor, I still believe Honor is real, but they got a lot of work to do. But yeah, and of course, Wrestle Kingdom has always been my annual baptism by fire when it comes to my professional wrestling highest expectations for the year, because it has always been that mainstay show that I follow through quite thoroughly ever since Wrestle Kingdom 8 when I first explored New Japan Pro Wrestling. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and just get right into it, Rob, because again, I make this, as always, a simply predicting exhibition. And you all will find a form, of course, in the comments down below where I challenge you to put in your predictions for Wrestle Kingdom 19 ahead of bell time for the kickoff. We're going to include the Ramble. And we're going to test your knowledge. We're going to test your insight. We're going to test your wild card nature if you've never seen this stuff before for New Japan Pro Wrestling. But it also gives you an idea what predicting is. I encourage everybody across the world to gesture their life and enjoy wrestling. And one of the best aspects of wrestling is simply predicting, where you think you may know what's going to happen, but you might be surprised to see what you think happens doesn't happen. And I run leads for it. But this is just an annual exhibition. King and I have, of course, done this now, I think, for 5 straight years. I've done this with Chanel and Chris Cass. I've done it with my friend Kyle on the X. I believe Kyle even won one time over the years. I got to check the records. So, yeah, get your predictions in and stay tuned for another forum once Wrestle Kingdom concludes, because I will have Wrestle Dynasty up as they might update what those matches might be for. Just saying. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Wrestle Kingdom 19. Of course, we are going to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling tradition in the Tokyo Dome, Ikten January 4th. And of course, we have a ton of matches here. You're just looking at 16 matches, folks. But we're going to start off, of course, with the kickoff and talk about really a year that has changed tradition and has challenged the new generation to lead. We're stepping things up with the New Japan Ramble King. Now this Ramble is ideally a number one contendership for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship ever since Great Khan off him. Of course, retired the KOPW title after defending successfully against Taiji, one of the most predominant KOPW champions in history, the self-proclaimed king of pro wrestling, who had one final decree. And New Japan Pro Wrestling, President Tanahashi, and Chairman Shibayashi have honored it. The KOPW title is now officially retired, and now we have the New Japan Ramble, where we know that up to who knows how many people can be in it, come in at almost minute-long intervals. It's just literally a rampage of people. Pinfall, submission, or over-the-top rope is how you're eliminated. And the last man standing will basically get a shot at the IWGP World Championship. So again, I'm going to encourage you all to simply put one name down from the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster, because I still think it's going to be someone from New Japan. But we have seen people before came from Noah, from Gleet, from All Japan, from insert name here, and we've been pleasantly surprised to see what they could do when it came to four-way. But as far as I know, this legitimately is you win, you get the shot later. I don't think they pick a date yet, and I'm sure we'll get more about that on New Year's Dash when the new year kicks off. Of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Here's the light schedule for you folks, by the way, and the starting times. And this form, by the way, will be due, King, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. So be accordingly. So, King, looking at the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster, the old generation, the crop of the new generation that has really come home from excursion and made this land their own, thinking about how we reshape the landscape. Just five guys no longer fade, now it's just four guys. We got a new War Dog. We got TMDK running roughshod this year. We still have Los Pasos y Monables. We, of course, have the United Empire that's been going for a whole different reshaping when it comes to divide and conquer, led by the captain, TJP. And, of course, Hontai is trying to restore the true traditions of Japanese professional wrestling with the likes of Roughneck, of course, representing Hontai in the main event. Not to mention Chaos, still a thing, but pretty much in shambles at this point. And you do wonder if Chaos can once again find control in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that being said, King, thinking about the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster and this opportunity and our current champion and who could be the champion, who do you think can win this?
It's really a toss-up because it can be anybody from, like you said, the old generation to the current crop, and of course the young lions coming back from excursion. It's really a toss-up. I don't really have a definite clear winner, to be honest with you. I don't.
Right?
Because it's like last year, if taught me anything, it's basically a toss-up in 2024 last year with the current shape of New Japan's roster. So I really don't have a clear winner.
Yeah, I'll be honest here. I'm not going to rickroll people. I know not everybody is insane as me. Not even you are that insane, but I expect your gumption. I won't put this on the forum because I know not everybody knows everybody in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I think about names that are connected to Zack Sabre Jr.'s history. I think of Taiji. I think the Holy Emperor and Zack Sabre Jr. are going to get back. Fallout, Dangerous Techers, who's respectful one another. Could be a very interesting match, especially with the new beginning coming up. And of course, Taiji is from Sapporo. Imagine if it's Taiji versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. That's one name might come to mind. Despite the fact that he's a war dog, you can't argue that Sonata and Zack Sabre Jr. have brought out the best of each other when it comes to their ideologies in professional wrestling. So I think Sonata could also be another dark horse here. What a change, by the way, from last year in the main event to this year, possibly in the Ramble. Just saying. Those are two names that come to my mind, though, when I first think about people that could challenge for the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion on the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion. But that's just off the top of my head. I think about Jeff Cobb, who, of course, also scored a victory. But then again, I also wonder if people are going to work double duty. Is it going to be more of a legend showcase? Is it going to be Noah crossover, especially what happened at the Pro Wrestling Noah show? It's one of those things that I do wonder how dynamic this Ramble is going to be, considering how much higher the stakes are in winning. Again, a match full of mystery, no number of entrants. You might get incredible faces of the past like Iska or Jesus, Minoru Suzuki. I mean, you never know who's going to show up in the Rambo. But all right, but I just want to start with that because I know it's just going to be fun to call, and I look forward to calling that madness. Maybe we'll see Peter again. Yay, Peter. But well, anyway,
Ah,
look, Peter has to do the dance because this new generation needs to be guided on what is going to be the outlook of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's tradition. You know that.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
All right, stop moving on telling lies. Okay, let's go ahead and get actually into the main card. As always, when it comes to Wrestle Kingdom, the junior heavyweights always set the pace. Of course, literally a tradition held for a number of years, only elevated by the likes of Juicer Thunder Liger, Will Ospreay, and Hiromu Takahashi. And of course, the great IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions of the past, including but not limited to Roppongi 3K, Roppongi Vice, Bullet Club in multiple inceptions, including your friggin' Young Bucks. Let's go ahead and talk about this unique Fatal 4-Way. We're no stranger to Fatal 4-Ways for these titles, but this is a first. Tokyo Terror Ladder Match. It is Kushida and Kevin Knight, the Intergalactic Jet Center, defending the titles against last year's Best of Super Juniors Tag League winners in Ichiban Sweet Boy, Thursday TMDK, Snapper the Sky, Robbie Eagles, and of course, Japanese Jump Up, Kosei Furuta. Catch 2 and 2, TJP and Francisco Akira, who of course won these titles last year against the last team, Clark Connors and Drew Maloney, Bullet Club War Dogs. The dynamics of these four teams is insane, considering again, War Dogs came into Wrestle Kingdom last year as champions, lost in the Catch 2 and 2, regained them back from Catch 2 and 2 later on in the year. Intergalactic Jetsons, of course, won those titles back later on in the year, flip flop again, and then they became champions again towards the very end at King of Pro Wrestling. And then you have this new dynamic of a guy no straighter to holding the gold instead of defending it in Robbie Eagles, tagging alongside Kosei Fuja. Kosei Fuja getting his latest shot at IWGP Gold. And this team right here might be the most wild card, but then you throw a ladder in the mix where the Jet might soar off the top of the Tokyo Dome, Lord help us, as he was about to do that in Corrigan Hall, which led us here in the first place. Of course, I imagine it's the first team that climbs the ladder and grabs the titles that win it here. It's a freaking ladder match, but I'm pretty sure there's never been a IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship ladder match in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. This is a first. This is going to be interesting. I know we've seen ladder matches for the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship, but never for the tag titles, let alone for the four-way dance. 8 men are about to rampage like freaking kaijus and gaijins through the Tokyo Dome. Good God. King, what happens here?
See, I think about it, I think about two takeaways. One, because of Yoda Suji and David Finlay for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship and that come into play. Because I can think about it like this, and it's basically which faction is going to lead gold on night one of this Tokyo Dome Madness, especially because of this fatal four-way. And of course, you know, you got TMDK, which Zack Sabre Jr. holds the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which he faces Shota Umino in the main event. So I think about which faction leaves the Tokyo Dome night one or Wrestle Kingdom 19 as the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. And I look at either TMDK with Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles, or I look at it as Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney, which, you know, for those that don't know, Drilla Maloney was part of United Empire till he backstabbed TJP and Akira to join Bullet Club War Dogs. But also, I also got to think about, you know, like you said, Kevin Knight and Kushida, because Kevin Knight has been my favorite underrated wrestler to watch in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Him and Kushida gel together like peanut butter and jelly, like simple. But this is going to be. I'm going to go with Fujita and Robbie Eagles. I'm gonna get TMDK for this win. And I'm going to get TMDK leaving Tokyo Dome night one. But we'll talk more about that as we talk about the main event, as you know, as we further progress down these, you know, run down the rest of the matches. But so far, I got Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita, TMDK leaving with those IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
Well, it would be a major moment for Kosei Fuda to win his first title in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, feat that Kevin Knight accomplished twice, but Chess 2 did beat Intergalactic Jet Setters during the tag league that got them this opportunity in the first place. Kushida looking for redemption, and we saw that four-way preview with all four of the four members of each team, and TJP was able to escape the win, but again, pinfall submission doesn't matter here. I do think about Kushida, of course, being such a trade name for the junior heavyweight division. And Kevin Knight, like you said, he is a star on the rise, but now he has to soar to the highest heights without crashing and burning. And I kind of am holding out to see if the champions actually retain here. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships have changed hands now about every year, I think since 2012. So it's been one of those things right now where it's almost been a constant. I think the only ones that have defended successfully during this time is Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask, where they were the Flying Tigers in triple threat action. But we saw what happened last year. The titles did change hands, and Catch 2 and 2 did win. But yeah, I look at this right now as a complete who's who, but it comes down to who I don't think is the most violent, but I think who's the most smart in finding the opportunity. And there's going to be a lot of risk with how we know those ladders have to be set up, by the way. Those Japanese ladders don't make no damn sense whatsoever. Ask Kenta about that. Freaking audience laughing at Kenta. I was like, does this show us the freaking red shoes? And I was like, I ain't messing with that. I won't do it. Then one of the only matches that the audience had to be audible during the freaking semi-post-pandemic Wrestle Kingdoms back at Wrestle Kingdom 16. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Good grief. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go with because again, Kevin Knight and Kushida, they did just get them back. I'm actually gonna go with the champion retaining here. I don't know how, but there's a reason I think that Kevin Knight and Kushida called for this. Talk about calling your shot. I'm gonna say they're up to it. I'm gonna say the champions retain, but I'm not confident. Especially when last year, I'm pretty sure every championship changed hands.
Yep, it did.
Good grief. Okay, let's go ahead and move on into our next match, the only women's match on January 4th, and how fitting and how well and nice it is to fucking say the IWGP Women's Championship on the line in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom. The Stardom icon with practically, I think now at this point, over 600 days as champion, Mayu Iwatani goes one-on-one against a very familiar, I think mutually respectable foe. The daughter of High Speed, the young 22-year-old prodigy, Asume. And of course, Asume had many breakout moments last year outside Stardom, when she, of course, was on excursion here in America, taking on the likes of, go ahead and say it real quick,
Dang it, I'm timeless.
Toni Storm, as well as Stephanie Valkyrie. And the reason Asume is getting this match is Asume, for the first time, has pinned Mayu Iwatani. She finally got the better of her last year during the 5-Star Grand Prix, and Mayu Iwatani respects that. Mayu Iwatani, of course, is self defenses against the likes of most recently Momo Watanabe, my women's match of the year outside Timeless Toni Storm and Ryan May. That match was so fucking incredible. At historic crossover 2, as well as other matches against the likes of Timeless Toni Storm and Saray, who is currently the Marigold World Champion. It's also one of those things, though, where you think about people breaking out this year. We just saw Starlight Kid win the Wonder Stardom Championship and Saya Kamatani win the Royal Stardom Championship. So Stardom is definitely shaping their landscape bigger than ever. It's also one of those things right now where I do wonder, Iwatani, how long can she hold on to this title? She's been fighting so hard and so long for this one. She actually deserves to be at the Tokyo Dome. And we know that she's not done anytime soon, but she's had this title now for over 600 days. Kazuchika Okada, of course, one of his longest reigns, went over 700. And he didn't lose at the Tokyo Dome, but he did lose it in that year that he last defended in the Tokyo Dome, of course, at Dominion. I look at Stardom's schedule, and I know they got the Dream Kingdom show, of course, coming up in April. But I think about right now, she's pretty much beaten everybody I can think of possible in the Stardom landscape that's a worthy challenger at this point. But these are two of the best absolute female athletes on the planet. I cannot wait for this. But how long has Mayu Iwatani been fighting for this moment on this stage, for these stakes? There's some things you just don't go against. I gotta go with Mayu Iwatani retaining. I just got to. What's your thoughts here, King?
Mayu Iwatani has been Stardom's icon for the past 13 years. She has been the standard bearer of Stardom. Everybody wants a piece of Mayu, and especially at a higher stakes with basically the IWGP women's championship on the line. And Azume is a very, very good challenger to Mayu. Very good challenger. If you've never seen Azume, go watch. I'll recommend here King's recommendation because, of course, I'm a little biased because of who I'm about to talk about. Go watch Collision with us. Go watch Collision from last year when she faced Toni Storm. That'll give you a very good, quick definition of who Azume is. And I got through watching the Mayu Iwatani and Azume preview on YouTube of they've been uploading their little video packages of the exactly.
The VCR.
I'm going to go with Mayu because Mayu's on a mission statement. She wants to break Okada and she wants to be like the female version of Okada, become the greatest IWGP champion of all time. I can't doubt against Mayu. I really can't. I'm going to go with Mayu Iwatani retaining.
Yeah, of course, Suve, of course, threw the challenge for the World Star Championship at times in her past, and she just celebrated 10 years in her wrestling career. Again, she's been part of Stardom since 2013. Ideally, one of the longest running members of Queen's Quest, one of the most prolific high-speed champions in this company's history, looking for her big breakthrough where Stardom's all about constantly growing, becoming stronger. Why she was strong to finally get a pinfall win over Mayu Iwatani under smaller circumstances in the 5-star Grand Prix. Can she do it when the stakes are at the highest on the grandest stage of them all across Japanese pro wrestling? I don't know. This one kind of does feel like a toss-up to me because how well these two know each other. Their record is 3-1. This will be their 5th singles encounter. So again, it took 4 times just for Asuma to finally catch Mayu. Now she's got to try and do it again for the IWGP Women's Championship. That's some huge stakes. So I wish Asuma the best, but it's hard to bet against the Stardom icon when she has been Stardom's icon since day 1. So I got to go with Mayu Iwatani. Kudos to both, though. This is going to be, I'm calling it now. This is going to be right now one of my top 2 matches of the entire 2-day span. It's got to be.
Already out the gate?
Dude, it's Stardom. It's Mayu Iwatani. We saw what Asuma is capable of. And this is probably going to be the longest IWGP Women's Championship match in Tokyo Dome history, considering how quick and violent Tem Nakano and Kairi got, but how short it was. It was like less than 10 minutes. These two are going to get the damn time. I guarantee you that.
Yep, for sure.
But speaking of time, I think they're going to go longer than this one. But how the hell do you figure out how to beat somebody in 15 minutes when there's more than one opponent? Let's go ahead and talk about this. What the hell is this? Fatal 4-way action for the NJPW World TV Championship. It is, of course, the current champion, Ren Narita, and ironically enough, he was here 2 years ago to crown the inaugural champion against Zack Sabre Jr. Look at where we are now. Ain't time crazy. Defending the title against the people that he beat, the previous NJPW World Television Champion, Jeff Cobb. Rihei Oiwa now has put his name into the mix, and they're returning after successfully overcoming cancer. God bless him. Congratulations. El Phantasmo. Of course, Jeff Cobb, his mission statement's been about this next generation. Their time will come, but not now. It is still my time. And Ren Narita holding all the darkness and grudges that he can to literally abscond with this championship, thanks to what you see in his hand, that weighted lift bar. Of course, he's been champion since literally King of Pro Wrestling, and I believe has not defended the title even once. But of course, in Fatal 4-way action, champion not be involved in a decision. And again, we saw that came in play in Triple Threat action. This is going to be very unique, considering I can't remember the last time I saw a Fatal 4-way match that was only 15 minutes long. And truth be told, if the match goes to the time of the draw, champion retains. Again, Jeff Cobb, previous champion. Rhea Oiwa, still looking for his first championship. He's already challenged Takagi for the Never Overweight Championship and Gabe Kidd for the Strongweight Championship just last year. Since coming back from Pro Wrestling No Excursion, his last match being against the former, yes, you heard me right, former GS Heavyweight Champion, Kaito Kiyomiya. And of course, the LP, he had a lot of ups and downs. He wasn't sure what his direction was in the fallout of him losing those tactiles. Both sets of strats might I had in the same match, TMDK. But of course, he found his home in home tie. His heart's still with the fans, and he is in great health now that he's overcome cancer. Kudos to him. And then you got Ren Narita, where again, jury is still out on the former guy that was compared by Katsura Shibata, the son of Strong Style that looks to be anything but that nowadays, when I don't know what this means, but you represent the House of Torture. And King, you know as well as I do, if in a 4-ways, there is no disqualification. That weight bar is perfectly legal to come into play, and so is Dick Dogle.
Yeah,
What do you
and
guys say regarding this? And nothing else, I hope we have a new champion. If I'm going to pick one, Jeff Cobb saying he's trying to be the gatekeeper to the new generation. I think Jeff Cobb should get his win back.
as much as I want Jeff Cobb to win it back, and that was on the edge of my mind, you said it. Fatal four ways are no disqualifications, but also a 15-minute time limit. Like you said, we're gonna have Dick Togo. We're gonna have that weapon that Ren Narita's got. He's not the same old Ren Narita that I first knew. Of course, he joined that House of Torture, and I can't stand them because once upon a time they were the subpart group of Bullet Club. But that's enough of my mini rant about that. As much as I want Jeff Cobb to retain, Ren Narita is going to, I mean, to get the title from Ren Narita and get it back, Ren Narita is going to retain because it's no DQ. And of course, he got that weapon. Dick Togo going to be at ringside. And when it comes to that type of scenario, it's going to be House of Torture shenanigans. And whenever House of Torture shenanigans get involved, House of Torture, 85 to 90% of the time, they always come out on top.
Yeah, unless at the very end, like we saw with showing us for Desperado, thankfully, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, of course, failed to capture the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, and Evil, thankfully, is not IWGP World Heavyweight Champion or president of this company. And we saw what he tried to do with John Moxley last year. Just saying. But yeah, I understand what you mean, but truth be told, I hope you are dearly wrong. And speaking of House Tour shenanigans, let's go ahead and bring the whole house out, shall we? Because look at what's next. How fittingly back to back on this card. You wonder if that's a coincidence. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yes, those words, folks, are accurate. Final Road special single match. And I pray to God this is not his final match, but this very well could be. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan, El Jefe, El Presidente, the boss, taking on Evil. So bottom line, this is the guy that's still, in my opinion, owns the lease on this damn building. The most main events ever in Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom history. I just got done rewatching Wrestle Kingdom 13 just to put it in hindsight. Anyway, the record with these two, of course, singles wise though, they have a long standing history, not just with Evil House of Torture, but just in general when Evil came in as Los Granades de Japón. This will be their 8th singles encounter, and it stands 4-3. The additional note about this match, though, is that Eva has pushed the Ace so badly, we saw the Ace literally unleash hell on Evil, rightfully so, with a steel chair, but Evil got comeuppance, literally taking the Ace's hair. All bets are off when you mess with Hiroshi Tanahashi's hair, the man of 1,000 styles. You could ask any enemy of WrestleJoy about that. Damn it. But also, Hiroshi Tanahashi made it known at Kia Pro Wrestling, this is it. He is done come January 4th, 2026. Unless Evil gets his way here, this could potentially be it once and for all, 1 year earlier. And to put matters in even more crazy madness, it's a lumberjack match, which means you know that all the Hontai is going to be there in the Aces corner, but also the House of Torture is going to be in Evil's corner. And unfortunately, 2 years ago, House of Torture did get the better of Kabuki and Mancho Domino. They know how to win at the Tokyo Dome at times, it seems. So again, this could be a very, very, very dark note and dark start for the Ace of New Japan, ending his career abruptly. I pray to God that's not what happened. Straight up, Ace, win, please. Simple as that. I mean, hell, he beat Saxon Jr. last year at Wrestle Kingdom 18 to become the World Television Champion, the second ever World Television Champion. Saxon Jr. held that title for 1 year. This is where the Ace thrives the most. This is where the Ace is always at his best. Any opponent across this planet will tell you that. I gotta go with the Ace. Go Ace. Simple as that. Anything you want to add regarding Hiroshi Tanahashi?
Go Ace, go Ace, go Ace. Please, 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 Hiroshi Tanahashi. I do not want to see your career end abruptly by the hands of Evil. Because I can't stand Evil. And yeah, we all know that scenario. I just got through with the mini rant. But yeah, Hiroshi, do us all a favor. Put Evil's lights out. Thank you.
Simply put, yeah, stop Evil's ramp shot run once and for all. Break the House of Torture down brick by brick, every foundation, until it can't stand on the poor foundation it already has. Let light shine through the darkest of themes that Evil tries to impose against you. Ace for the win. Seriously, it's Wrestle Kingdom. He has to win here. Come on. Okay, I feel better now that we got that out of the way. Okay, now, King. Hey, King. Hey, King. I got 3 words for you. Bad motherfuckers. I'm not gonna say another word. You can just talk about this.
Oh my goodness. We got a Rampage Dragon and an Alpha. And then the graphic you see there, that was recently outdated, but it is since Kanosuke and Takeshita successfully defended the AEW International Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs, which that was a big, meaty match it was for the time it was given. And that was like my second match of the night.
Yes.
This is now a double title match for the never open weight and AEW International Championships title for title. And the winner of this match will face Tomohiro Ishii at Wrestle Dynasty. Now, Takagi and Takeshita. As soon as Takeshita defended his AEW International Championship months ago, and Takagi came out and made the challenge, I knew he was in for a ride. This was one of the matches I've been wanting to see for quite some time.
Right.
The Rampage Dragon and Konosuke Takeshita, the Alpha, title for title. Now that is what caught me left field. I did not expect it to be title for title. But with the way I could see this going and the way how both Shingo and Takeshita's runs have been going as of late, but Konosuke, ever since he's getting the international championship, this man is running roughshod with that championship. Running roughshod. Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Powerhouse Hobbs. The list goes on and on ever since he's held that championship. He's defended in New Japan Strong. Defended, of course, in AEW. Defended in other companies. It may play pro wrestling. Oh my goodness. I have respect for both men. I do. But Takeshita is going to walk for now until what happens with Ishii. Konosuke is going to become a double champion to start out night 1 and beat Shingo for the never open weight championship while still retaining the AEW International Championship and going to face Ishii the following night.
You got Konosuke Takeshita beating Shingo Takagi in the Tokyo Dome for the never overweight title in a first time ever one-on-one encounter.
Yes, I do. I am calling it right now. My gut and my mind lined up perfectly with this prediction.
Oh my gosh. But first off, this is professional wrestling at its damn motherfucking heavy hitting finest. God bless it. Okay, but seriously, Konosuke Takeshita exploded in New Japan Pro Wrestling last year in the G1 Climax. And the fact of the matter that these two have never met each other because they were in separate blocks was a crime to me. And the fact that Konosuke came so close to getting to the semifinals, where again Yota wants to face him, where they both are champions. There's some foresight for the future, just saying. And of course, Konosuke winning this at Wrestling to Your Point with defenses against the likes of Speedball Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander, 2 of my favorite matches last year. And of course, overcoming, like you said, Ricochet, as well as TJP. The Alpha has been absolutely unstoppable. And we also, of course, know that Shingo, he's been chopping at the bit. Let's think about this. Shingo Takagi, of course, he was formerly never overweight champion last year at Wrestle Kingdom. Comes in once again as never weight champion this year at Wrestle Kingdom. But last year he lost to Tama Tonga. This time though there are higher stakes here. But Shingo Takagi is no stranger to AEW, and that's the other thing I gotta consider here because Shingo and Konosuke are both very favored in AEW. And you got to consider how this is going to affect things. But thinking about New Japan of America, I do think you're on the right ride here as far as January 4th goes with Konosuke Takeshita picking up the win and proving a point. In my opinion, I think Shingo Takagi needs to run it back with Zack Sabre Jr. and go back after the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship again. Shingo knows how to carry a title and knows how to carry himself as a top star. Period. And I think he wants to continue to wrestle all over the world and out of ROH, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hell, put him in DDT Pro. That's where Konosuke's from, by the way, in case you all didn't know. And Konosuke has been dreaming about being part of New Japan Pro Wrestling since he turned his application when he was friggin' 10 years old. Now here he is at the friggin' Tokyo Dome challenging for the title that defines the baddest motherfucker in the business. Period, point blank simple. As said by Chris Charlton. And we have seen this title be the standout of the industry and New Japan Pro Wrestling countless times on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom cards. Whether you're talking about Katsuyori Shibata, Hiroki Goto, Kenta, Jeff Cobb, I still go back and watch Wrestle Kingdom 15 solely because of that match. Or, to your point, Mr. Never himself, in my opinion, the Stone Pitbull, my boy. Tomohiro Ishii, to your point, he will challenge for both those titles in January. And he also is going to be challenging Gabe Kidd for the never Edward Round Openweight Championship, which we'll talk more about later, probably on Saturday. But yeah, I don't want to call this shit. Man, I'm going to be losing my shit over this. Okay, but I got to be honest. I got to be fair. Got to pick a winner. I'd look at youth also, because let's be honest here. Shingo's up there, man. He's still going to hit you like a freaking Mack truck. Shingo's up there. Nosuke is literally in the prime of his career. Don Callis has another young gun underneath his tutelage, and it's done nothing but dividends, making Konosuke even a smarter wrestler. I think I gotta go with you here, and I gotta go with Konosuke Takeshita getting the win. It's just a matter of how much does it take to knock out Shingo Takagi. It's gonna take more than raging fire and one knee, I think, and one world-class elbow. These two are gonna beat the living shit out of each other in the hardest hitting match of the weekend. Maybe second to Ishii, because Ishii is, Ishii is Ishii. But I just can't fucking wait for this. When this match was first made official, I was like, can I just get to January 4th, right? This was my most anticipated match of the new year. Period, point blank, simple. Let's fucking go. But yeah, I'm going to go with you here and say that Konosuke Takeshita does win. What does it mean for Shingo? But Shingo never stays down. Just saying.
No, he doesn't.
Can we just get to this match already, please? Can we just get to it?
Strong style will show its finest with these two at the Tokyo Dome.
Goddamn right. And we're going to know who leads it once and for all. Lord forgive me. Speaking of people who lead things, no longer call him a pushover. No longer call him just an additional player. Call him the face of the junior heavyweights. And now Desperado wants to prove a point against him to see if you are truly holding worthy to that mantle. It is El Desperado challenging for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Doki. The history of these two is absolutely insane. But the breakout year, like I talked about this new generation for Doki, has been absolutely incredible. He finally did it, Kevin. Doki is the Doki. He actually beat Mr. Watto. He Kevin, he defeated Junior Heavyweights. What you doing here? Kevin no longer works there. Walter does. Oh, I forgot about that. Fred Gino needs to be here for Doki's match. I don't care. I need to hear him say the Doki. Anyway, sorry, not sorry. Okay. In all seriousness, El Desperado, of course, won this title last year at Wrestle Kingdom, successfully beating Hiromu Takahashi in defending it. In pretty much what is his lifelong rival at this point. The two hate and love each other. It's a super weird thing. But the history of these two goes all the way back to Mexico when Doki was wrestling literally on floors for a burrito in front of less than 10 people. And of course, El Desperado has his own crusade where he wrestled every form factor from death match to technical foundation, of course. And thinking about this former member of Suzuki-gun, and of course, Doki brought in by Taiji El Desperado, Doki was finally able to usurp El Desperado for the first time in his career last year during New Japan Seoul, where he beat him. With defenses successful against the likes of Yoshinobu Kamaru, Taiji Ishimori, let that just stick out for a moment for you folks, and the returning Master Wato, Doki has proven why you deserve to call him the face of the junior heavyweights. But El Desperado coming back from injury now, he looks to step up and see if Doki truly, are you the guy I knew you can't be, or are you still a plucky underdog that just got a little bit of shine while I was away? It's one of those things where sometimes you beat the greatest opponent, but once again, your greatest opponent finds a way to overcome you. And Ellis Morales even said after he beats Doki, he wants to challenge Robo Takahashi. So, again, it's one of those things where we look at this title. We did not see a change last year, I believe, because Hiromu came in as challenger within the Best Super Juniors. At Wrestle Kingdom 17, if in a four-way action, Hiromu, of course, won. Tajimori was champion. We keep going back and back and back down the list where El Desperado has come in as champion and challenger. It's kind of a juggle. The record with these two, by the way, is 4-1 in favor of El Desperado. The only win for Doki was last year while El Desperado was champion during New Japan Soul. King, do you have a new champion here for the junior heavyweight division, or does Doki with the Doki Choki, or some other form, maybe the Suplex de la Luna as he's been implementing here, of course? Do you think Doki finally usurps El Desperado on the grandest stage of them all? Still, El Desperado finally usurped Hiromu Takahashi.
When Despy came back after a 6 months, like a 6 month absence, I was like, yep, Despy's gonna be right back in the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title picture. I mean, it's Despy; he's the face of it. And then Doki has it now currently. And whenever Doki was challenging for Desperado, Despy was basically the stranglehold of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, while Doki and everybody else has been challenging Desperado to dethrone Despy for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now that Doki has the title and Desperado is now the challenger, I think Doki finally gets Desperado in a championship situation. I got Doki retaining over El Desperado.
Yeah, and again, it just feels like to me right now, New Japan, like Stardom, like Noah, is reshaping their landscapes with the next generation. And I think they're really taking a chance on all these young, bright, hungry, hardworking, driven up-and-comers. And of course, Doki, he's been around for quite a while, but we've really seen him come into his own since last year in June when he won this title. I think it's going to be a testament to Doki's growth if he beats El Desperado. I'm going to go with Doki here too. I think Doki also retains. I hope he does, actually. I'm holding out for him. I've been a fan of Doki for a long time when people probably did toss him to the wayside. I thought he was really getting breakout moments during last year's Best of Super Juniors when he caught a couple of key wins. And I think that's really when he garnered favor with the Japanese professional wrestling fans before, joining Just for Guys. But yeah, I think that Doki's time is going to continue here for now, and I'm going to pick him to win here. Plus, on the route again, just came back from injury. He wants to test Doki and see if Doki can prove his worth. Let's believe that Doki can. Doki for the win. And Kevin, I'll be very happy. Again, Kevin ain't there, Gino. Walter Stewart is. Walter Stewart has been very awesome, by the way. Shout out, by the way, to the English correspondents, of course, that work now with Stardom, and also Anthony May, who's been a backstage correspondent. I engaged a little bit with him on the X, and again, I love the global outreach of New Japan and Stardom, particularly over the last year. It's been incredible to see. Not only Noah, and again, Noah and Marigold are also doing that as well. I just wish Marigold had a better, more updated site so I could actually understand more what's going on, because again, I don't understand Japanese, but I'm trying. Anyway, quit aside. Let's go ahead and move on from here to our next match in a title that was shaped by a rebel. The question is still whether or not does the world need a rebel savior, leader of Bullet Club, destroyer of titles, a man on crusade of redemption, but a path of destruction against a certain guy that's already got 2 victories over him? You tell me. Because Yoda is now challenging for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship against the man he's already beaten twice under critical means, David Finlay. And of course, Yoda owns 2 pinfall wins on David Finlay. The big win was, of course, during the G1 Climax, where he stopped David Finlay's path to the finals. He beat him in the quarter-finals, and David Finlay has not held it down since. What David Finlay, of course, has been holding down this title that he said was made for him, and he's willing to do absolutely anything to hold on to it, literally casting aside the old guard, including Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. We've seen how far David Finlay is willing to go in this savage nature to ensure that he holds on to the global heavyweight champion, not just for himself, but to lead by example for his War Dogs. Where if the War Dogs know weakness, they might as well chew David Finlay out. So it's one of those things, again, we got to consider also, King, the winner of this match will defend that title on January 5th against their respective opponent. So that means David Finlay defends against Brody King, or Yoda defends against scapegoat Jack Perry. That's why I said, folks, we're not going to do a full mile at once, because there's going to be a whole damn fucking lot of cost and effects here. And again, he has been the 3rd champion since this title was inaugurally created back at Wrestle Kingdom Really last year. Ain't that some crazy shit? Wrestle Kingdom 18. And we've only seen David Finlay lose it to one other person, Nick Nemeth. He's been champion now twice with it. He inaugurally got it from John Moss and Will Ospreay, and he got it back from the Watson Man, who is still now the TNA World Champion, with Joe Hendry waiting for them at Genesis. That's a different conversation. I'm not going to trigger you. So again, King, David Finlay again has been on this unique crusade where every loss he's bounced back from and gotten it back. The only person he hasn't died against at this point is Uyamura, who's injured, and Uya is the guy that beat Yoda Tsuji last year at Wrestle Kingdom. And now look at where things stand. Do you have a new global heavyweight champion?
There is always a light of hope with Yota Tsuji, but I'm also it's always a darkness of destruction when it comes to David Finlay and his Bullet Club War Dogs. I want to see Yota Tsuji finally win some gold in AEW, singles gold, that is. I think we see that light of hope become a new champion in New Japan with the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. I'm going with Yota Tsuji. And then, because I want to see him and Jack Perry for at least title for title, or at least title match the following night.
Well, one thing for sure, David Finlay loses this title, all guns are going to be pointed straight at him from his War Dogs. Just saying. He even said that during the press conference. So why David Finlay right now doesn't feel the pressure necessarily, he knows the pressure is there because his War Dogs could literally make a meal out of him and chew him out of existence. And again, he's trying to put away last year's New Japan Cup winner, and Yosuji was at first for his to become the winner of the New Japan Cup and the G1 Climax in the same year. And he almost did that against Zack Sabre Jr. Still, phenomenal finale. One of the best G1 climaxes of recent memory as a whole. But yeah, I think Yota Tsuji's time is now. I think he's definitely proven his point since coming back from Excursion literally a year and a half ago at Dominion, challenging Sonata for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And I think it's time for him to finally get his first piece of singles gold. And there's no weakness in Yota Tsuji, in my opinion. I mean, again, look at the man's smile. Every time you think he had him down, he still smiles at you in defiance. So I think I am going to go with a new champion here. I am going to go with Yota Tsuji. And speaking of Los Factions de Japón, what a very unique semi-main that we go into with no applications, but yet holds so much more. Because get this by the way, King, 30-minute time limit, not 60. It is a special singles match with last year's World Tag League winners. Tag titles be damned. Because Tetsuya Naito wants to finally fulfill this destiny, go on one-on-one against somebody he saw something in 15 years ago. Ticking Time Bomb Hiromu Takahashi will semi-main event the Tokyo Dome January 4th against his mentor, his leader, his friend, his literal superior, Tetsuya Naito. Again, we talked about before the crusade of Tetsuya Naito. We talked about Hiromu Takahashi having this dream to go one-on-one with him. Countless times been looking for this match. It was supposed to happen during the pandemic when Naito was heavyweight champion and Hiromu was junior heavyweight champion. He tried to get the Neverweight Championship last year from Hanare to try and maybe buy a bid to create a match with Naito. He also tried to, of course, get back after the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, just have some sort of betting chip to be part of the Tokyo Dome, maybe influence Naito. We saw the run during the World Tag League. We saw the growth of Hiromu Takahashi, and honestly, that was all the proof that Tetsuya Naito needed to see it was worthy of this match at this time. Especially when Naito says that we need to take a courageous step. Not just you, but particularly I need to myself. I've seen your growth ever since you struggled back in the Young Lions days running the ropes. But I saw something in you. Now I need you to prove to me what I saw in you then, you have fulfilled now. But I also need to prove to myself I still have it now, especially to lose an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship to Zack Sabre Jr. and Miyagoku Mahal at King of Pro Wrestling, where traditions have been completely altered last year in New Japan, and the landscape again is literally changing, where the old guard might finally be heading out the door, considering how long Tetsuya Naito has been doing this. We've all been wondering about Tetsuya Naito when it will be, adios. And he's absolutely done everything. King, what do you guys say regarding this special first time ever singles match? And could this be Tetsuya Naito's last match in the Tokyo Dome?
Oh, this is 15 years in the making because I never thought I would see LIJ versus LIJ. But here we are. And like you said, Tetsuya Naito, ever since when he got back from Excursion in December 2009, he was basically, honing his craft and getting better. Then he saw a young Hiromu Takahashi, which, he even said he struggled, but yet Hiromu made a diary that said, "Oh, D Naito is finally taking me under his wing." I keep looking up. I look up to finally taking me under his wing and learning from him, which that's always going to be. I feel like in Hiromu's point, that's a very bright moment in his career. But also, wasn't it in July last year? I believe that they fought one-on-one singles encounter, which that was like a
Nah,
first.
it was a trios match, Lij like celebration like trios match. It was ahead of
Oh,
Sugar Takagi's
yes.
20th anniversary. But I do know what you're saying because that was during Naito's championship run. But it wasn't singles. It
No, it
was
wasn't.
a Los Ionaves de Hapong internal faction warfare trios match. It was 3-on-3. This is the first time ever 1-on-1, and Hiromu's been looking for this his entire career, talking about how to repay Naito's kindness throughout his career with a singles match. And here we are with Naito finally offering it, and Hiromu saying, "Took you long enough." Because again, it
Took
was
you
supposed
long
to
enough.
happen in 2020 when they were
Okay.
respectively heavyweight and junior heavyweight champion at the anniversary show, and then the world shut down.
Yep. Yep. But and then Naito said if he was to ever have a final retirement match, it will be against Hiromu Takahashi. And here we are having this match at the Tokyo Dome, 15 years in the making, with him saying that. When I watched that, I was like, hmm. Like you said, could this be Naito's final match before we even get to Wrestle Kingdom 20? Like, is this the final stop, the final year for Naito? Because he did say that he will always have that one-on-one match with Hiromu. And here we are at the Tokyo Dome. I'm going to go with the ticking time bomb. I'm going to go with Hiromu Takahashi.
I mean, Naito's already given Hiromu the gift of the singles match. And this, for me, for Naito, is one of those things where you don't prove something by wrestling. You continue to show something by winning. Cabron. It's one of those things for me where I look at Tetsuya Naito and his mindset. I don't know what his destino is, and I know he's always going to be Tarantino. I think that this is what Hiromu truly wanted to see he could achieve, and now that he's gotten it, I think that's already a victory in itself. And I don't think, honestly, what Naito said, it being one and done, is true. But I think it will be a one time only because Naito holds Romu to that degree of respect. But I'm going with Naito here because I do think there will always be that chase of Hiromu saying, "I didn't beat you, but I got to wrestle you in the Tokyo Dome. Gracias." It's one of those things where I do think that Naito will always be the mentor to the protege Hiromu. So I think I'm going to go with Tetsuya Naito here, picking up the win because for me, it's just one of those things where I think Naito needs this win as closure on his career. Because even if he beats Hiromu, he can at least trust that Hiromu will continue to grow from here. If he's worthy of this, he knows that Hiromu is worthy of one day maybe main eventing even the Tokyo Dome, which has always been one of Hiromu's wishes, particularly for the junior heavyweights. And again, he's semi-main without the title. He's getting closer and closer and closer to making that a reality. But I'm going with Tetsuya Naito here. Tranquilo. And it wouldn't surprise me if this leads maybe Tetsuya Naito being involved in something key at, oh, I don't know, the new beginning. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, I might be foreshadowing something. I don't know. You just always wish. Okay, well, anyway, we got a lot of talk, a lot of neat thought. Again, to your point, we know that Wrestle Dynasty, of course, will be January 5th. Marquee matches known include, but not just this. And we know that, again, several of these matches will have title implications based on what happens January 4th. And the biggest of occasions, what happens here, as we now talk about King, it is time for the Ladies and Fall! IWGP, think I'm not going to do that. IWGP World Heavyweight Champ. I'm still learning Japanese. IWGP World, keyword, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Roughneck Shota Umino versus the frontman, leader of TMDK, Tokyo Pro Sports MVP, and completing a feat that even Kenny Omega could achieve, while also being the second ever foreigner, non-Japanese, being truthful here, Westerner, of course, to win the G1 Climax last year. Zack Sabre Jr. It is Shota and Sabre 5. The record stands at 2-2. When it has mattered, Shota Umino has surprised the hell out of us and has beaten Zack Sabre Jr. But when it comes to richest prizes on the line, it's where he's fallen short. I'm not going to say another word because I'm going to let you lay the groundwork for this, considering the winner of this match is going to be defending that title either against Claudio Castagnoli or an unhinged Ricochet on January 5th. Good luck, bruv. Who leaves January 4th, Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Considering the title has changed hands now every year, I believe, since Wrestle Kingdom 13.
The X factor I'm gonna start with is Death Riders, because of the fact that I feel like a Death Rider invasion may come. The reason why I say that because of what Moxley said weeks back about him sending an emissary to face Shota the following night, and that emissary is one Swiss Superman, Claudio Castagnoli. This ain't Shota's first go around when it comes to earning a IWGP World Heavyweight title shot. He faced his teacher, John Moxley. Look how that turned out. Moxley retained, but also gave Shota a lesson. But like you said, when it comes to championship opportunities, higher stakes, his flaws start to show. Zack Sabre Jr. is coming out finally winning the G1 Climax after all these years of the G1 Climax trophy escaping him. He finally wins it and cashed it in and became the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. That is what made me that's what made my 2024 a little bit better. One of the reasons why my 2024 was better in wrestling, because of Zack Sabre Jr. winning the G1 and becoming IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And that's going to still be coming retaining here. Zack Sabre Jr. is going to retain against Shota Umino, where Shota Umino flaws are going to show up once again, because Zack Sabre Jr. is a technical savvy wrestler. But also Shota knows him well, like you said, 2-2. This is basically the rubber. Zack Sabre Jr. retains, and he's going to face Ricochet, an unhinged Ricochet. But also, like I said, an X Factor coming into play, Death Riders. But it's not going to be Moxley. It's going to be Claudio. I won't be surprised, though, if Moxley shows up. But just know that that's what's going to cause Shota not become an IWGP World Heavyweight Champion if we see a Death Rider invasion.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where there's a lot more than just Death Rider invasion. That's the tale of the tape here. We're also looking at two first-time ever main eventers in the Tokyo Dome. We're also looking at the youngest challenger main event in the Tokyo Dome since Kazuchika Okada, and why many people have put the identity of Shota Umino in question, why he wants to call himself the ace of New Japan, but still, of course, held that Death Rider persona for quite a while with him. Are you John Moxley? Are you Hiroshi Tanahashi? Hell, are you Tetsuya Naito at this point when you one time bucked up against Kim? Because you literally carry the emotions like on your sleeve. Are you tranquilo? What are you, roughneck? Have you figured yourself out yet? And then people also call into question his drive, also wrestling while maybe still injured ever since that injury that really was exaggerated during the G1 Climax. And we noticed that ankle injury pick up again during his run during the World Tag League. Now, truth be told, we didn't see a whole lot of that during the final match. It was absolutely insane on the road to Tokyo Dome. But you got to consider that Zack Sabre Jr. believes that vulnerability is still there. There are levels to this, Chris Charlton said, and Zack Sabre Jr. is on a different level. While Zack Sabre Jr. had one of the greatest years in his career. Started the year with that win back from Bryan Danielson back in Osaka, one of my matches of the year. Like you said, he went on to win the G1 Climax, put his whole career on the line, 20 years he's been at this utter madness. Not only did he win the G1 Climax, he broke tradition. He won the title in his spiritual home, calling it truly his home now, New Japan. in Japan, in Ryogoku Sumo Hall, beat Naito. He defended successfully not only in Japan, but in London. He's defended against Sonata and Shigeru Takagi. And now he's got Shota Umino and he's got Ricochet, where he's going to make history again, being the first one non-Japanese to successfully enter the Tokyo Dome main event and as champion and leave with it on back-to-back nights, continuing to create that history, saying that I've made these goals and I've achieved them, but my career is still far from over. I'm just starting a whole new legacy of it. And for me right now, I feel that they're going to put Zack Sabre Jr. as the guy to keep leading forward New Japan Pro Wrestling because he is that dedicated, that determined, that founded. So I do agree with you, but I don't think it's going to be Deborah. I think it's going to be a very mutual, respectful bout. Let's keep this in mind. Shota Umino was the strongest challengeable Ospreys IWGP United Kingdom Championship back at Power Struggle 40 damn minutes. We know when he is at his highest peak of pressure, he could thrive or he could fall. And he could be this close to actually achieving what he believes he's capable of. I mean, think about the reception at Power Struggle when he was heavily booed out the building. But since then, he's taken that jaunting reaction, that polarized reaction, to be honest, the boos and the cheers, and it's only strengthened him. He has his believers, he has his doubters. Why everyone, I believe, right now is fully behind Zack Sabre Jr. Shota Umino's out to prove a point. He's already making history. You can almost look at Zack Sabre Jr. and Shota Umino as Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada back in the younger Wrestle Kingdom days. This might not be just the first time thing that happens here. And these might be the two people right now that you have to hold the highest regard to in New Japan Pro Wrestling for the next 50 years, if I'm being perfectly honest. But with all that being said, I do think right now that Zack Sabre Jr., who truly has put this company on his back and kind of was trial by fire when he was Edward World Television Champion for one full year, which I think was a proving ground for him to get to this point. I think Zack Sabre Jr. achieves history, and I think the front man continues to bring it home and stays the champion in the Dome. As far as January 4th goes, I do have Zack Sabre Jr. retaining the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. But it is not going to be easy. And I think it will be clean, but I think he's going to literally break Shota Umino in the process or attempt to. Not just physically, but spiritually, to leave with the title. I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr. winning in what's going to be the most pinnacle match right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling 2025.
Yes, it is.
Well, that being said, that covers January 4th, believe it or not, King. A simple card as usual. 9 matches, only 1 kickoff match as far as I know. And then, of course, we move into Wrestle Dynasty. But, of course, we'll be back here on some point Saturday when we wake up and get our mentalities in order and wonder what the fuck happened January 4th. Because I'm sure it's going to leave us with... And, of course, we'll simply review that and preview Wrestle Dynasty. So stay tuned for the forum. And again, folks, let your predictions be known. If you're a fan of Japan Pro Wrestling, what do you expect to happen January 4th across these matches? Do you have all the titles changing hands? Do you have no titles changing hands? Do you expect somebody to show up as a surprise? Do you expect a return? Do you expect a challenge laid out for maybe further down the line? Whether it's Battle in the Valley, where Suzu Sakai, of course, will have a retirement trios match, whether or not it's further towards the new beginning, of course, Osaka and Sapporo. I'm sure we're going to get our big match schedule too, by the way, King, as is tradition per usual. And of course, New Year's Dash, you never know what happens there because the card's not known until literal bell time. But one thing's for sure that we do know, we are in for one hell of an incredible night professional wrestling action, as always, come January 4th in the Tokyo Dome. Wrestle Kingdom. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
See. All right. And that's all I'm going to say for you guys now. As again, I'm keeping it simple here. This was a simple preview of Wrestle Kingdom 19. King, arigato. Thank you for doing this with me as always. I will see you Saturday. Again, stay tuned for the forum and good luck in my, I believe again, is now the 5th Simply Predicting exhibition for Wrestle Kingdom. I hope you all joined the fun. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for coverage courtesy Simple Level Studios for Wrestle Kingdom 19 and Wrestle Dynasty, as well as the Marigo First Dream Show. If you didn't watch already, go check out on the archives, as well as Pro Wrestling Noah. Will also be coming to Raw on Netflix and also NXT New Year's Evil. And of course, Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by Regular Wrestling JJ Williams, will also be part of the weekend's festivities. So get your schedules in order and go check out Stardom's first show, by the way, too, where Thekla and Athena are going to be a duo. Yeesh. But also, Ty Mel's back with Nina. All the shimming you can handle, King. I expect you to be mature. And again, folks, get your schedules in order. There's your times right there for the actual bell time. But know the kickoff shows start 1 hour earlier on January 4th and January 5th. And that's all I'm going to leave you with for now. So, King, any closing thoughts regarding Wrestle Kingdom 19?
I got this and this only. Let's freaking go. The first week of madness always sets the tone in professional wrestling with Wrestle Kingdom.
Damn it. And that's a fact. Simple as that. All right, folks, we'll see you on Saturday back here after Wrestle Kingdom 19 for a preview of Wrestle Dynasty. But until then, as always, just go live and enjoy professional wrestling, make a positive impact in life, and have a good night. Thank you for tuning in this preview. Go Genyo. Sayonara.
Sayonara.